we started this journey almost over 2 years ago. And what we were trying to do was to get we went to the builders, the project builders, and looking at some houses, and we really fell in love with the design that actually had really high ceilings and beautiful windows up the top, and we really wanted a lot of light in the house. So unfortunately for us, a lot of the project builders weren't interested in actually building something like that for us. They were they'd start the conversation with, we can do that, and then as you went down the journey, which was really frustrating and wasted a lot of time, they're like, no, we can't do that, and yes, we can, or why don't you have this? And our first option was always to have a single-story home, because this is our forever home, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't have steps anywhere as we got older. And because it was a sloping block, that was the other barrier that the builders had. They didn't want to, they wanted to kind of put a split level home and all sorts of things. So it was really not a very pleasant journey, and we wasted a year on that journey by the time.
And then they said that we only build the project home that we have, and if you want a retaining wall built at the back, that's your problem. You can build it in after we build a house for you. So we thought, well, how are you going to do that when the house is there and you're going to build a retaining wall like that afterwards, So, yeah. Planted it when I was about that high, and so I thought, well, it's a good location there. It'll sort of grow to a reasonable size, and summertime it'll create shade. Wintertime, the leaves will disappear and allow the warm sun to come through to warm the house up, and that's the reason why,
Yeah, I've always loved a tree, and one of the things I wanted to incorporate in the design was a window seat, to be able to look at the tree, to have a little reading nook, to be able to say, hey, this is a tree, I don't know how much I'll use it, but the grandkids certainly will, It's a beautiful space. Yeah, it's a beautiful space, yeah. Yeah, so we engaged Jim for that specifically. We engaged you specifically for that because we were not really sure about the contracts that the builders had and whether the designs were sound and whether the construction methods were sound. You have so many bad stories about builders going bust and builders not doing the right thing here. So we wanted to make sure, and so we engaged you to look at their tenders and to look at their designs, and you did, and you suggested that maybe you could do a little bit better design for us, and we were really quite excited by that. We were really happy to engage you to do that. Yeah, so when we started, I think the very first thing the thing that we wanted was the windows right across the whole length of the house, which is one of the things that we were really keen on, and you came up with that design almost straight away, and I think you looked at some of the other project designs and you looked at all the zigzag corridors and stuff, and you kind of put some really clean lines into the design for us, which was like, as you open the door you can see the depth of the house, and it was just stunning. So I don't think we changed it too much from the design that you first came up with. We kind of maybe made some adjustments to the kitchen and the butler's pantry, but it's pretty substantially. I think you understood everything we wanted straight away, and that was absolutely fantastic. We just loved that. So one of the things that you did really well for us was present us with an option I don't know if you want me to mention the company, GJ Gardeners, which was a fantastic partnership, I thought, between yourselves and GJ Gardeners, because together I think we came up with an absolutely magnificent home. It's absolutely stunning and we just love it. And the journey has been really fairly uncomplicated. When you hear all the horror stories that are outside, I think our journey was pretty smooth, and to have a house delivered to us within 10 months of moving out was like literally unheard of. So one of the things that we were very concerned about was to make sure that we were getting the right build, the right construction, and I think that you might want to add something to that, because being the engineer, Raymond was very concerned.
Yeah, I in the construction industry, and I took a particular good eye on how they build things and read the specification with a magnifying glass and pointed out a few areas of improvement, you know, in
Yeah.
their spec and stuff. So,
So yeah, and
they take it on board, you know.
And we engaged you to take us through the CDC process, which is what was completely new to us, completely foreign. And I think that kind of helped us relax a little bit and actually not be so terrified by the whole process. So at every stage we got you to check, and that was absolutely fantastic. Yep, the construction management stage, because we were really comfortable with that whole journey up until that point. So it made absolute sense to engage you to do the construction management component, because you know, we felt comfortable and we knew that we were going to get the right advice and you were going to do the right thing by us, not necessarily the builders. So we were happy with that. The final result is just magnificent. We just love this home. I have to pinch myself. I kind of feel like I'm in an Airbnb most days. I wake up and go, nah, this is my home. It's just been, everybody who walks through the house is absolutely stunned, and they love the design, and they're like, oh, how did you come up with this design? And I'm like, you know, it was a collaboration really, of taking all our ideas. And you know, I don't know how you read my mind, Jim, but you did. You know, I wanted my floating steps and you gave me that. I wanted you know, the stone wall in the front, and we got that. I wanted my window seat that was not negotiable, and I got that. And this magnificent living space is just beautiful. I have a large family, and I can just see us all having many parties here.
Memories too.
Many memories, yeah. We will build many memories. So thank you very much. Thank you for making the journey so reasonable for us.